Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about chemistry in pharmaceutical world, the integration of chemistry in pharmaceutical industry and the role of chemists in the pharmaceutical value chain. And before we get to understand the integration of chemistry in pharmaceutical industry, we need a basic understanding of chemistry and the basic understanding of pharmaceutical industry and its value chain. What is the basic definition of chemistry? Chemistry is a science involved with elements and compounds composed of atoms, molecules, and ions. Chemistry is involved in studying their composition, their structure, their properties, their behaviors, and the changes they undergo when they react with other elements. This involves both organic and inorganic compounds. So let us put this basic understanding at the back of our mind as we go through this journey of understanding the integration of chemistry in pharmaceutical world. Now let us have a basic understanding of pharmaceutical industry. Pharmaceutical industry is majorly involved in production of drugs to be used as medication to be administered to patients in order to cure disease, for vaccination, and to alleviate symptoms. Drug substances in themselves are chemical compounds or elements. What does pharmaceutical value chain entail? It has research and development, product manufacturing, product distribution, sales, and marketing. With the basic understanding of chemistry at the back of our mind, let us now talk about research and development. In pharmaceutical industry, research and developments entail discovering new drugs, identifying them, and establishing their medicinal and therapeutic value. Previously, we mentioned that drugs could be chemical elements or compounds. So this process of discovering these new drugs entails studying their composition, their structure, their properties, and their behaviors. So after the new drug has been discovered, the second step is to come up with the drug formulation. So in pharmaceutical industry, what is pharmaceutical formulation? Pharmaceutical formulation is a process in which different chemical substances, including the active drug, are combined to produce a final medicinal product. So this product comes in different dosage forms. It could be as injectables, it could be as tablets, capsules, pessaries, oral solutions, creams and ointments, powders, and even vaccines. So, we've mentioned that the formulation entails putting different chemicals, substances together. But as in the basic understanding of chemistry, we say that chemistry entails studying the changes that these elements and compounds undergo when they react with one another. Okay, so what happens when we put these chemicals together? They may react, okay, to come up with a different molecule altogether. But also note, when you're coming up with a drug formulation, there are three characteristics that this particular drug should meet. 1, quality. 2, safety. And 3, efficacy. So after formulating this drug, the next step is to carry out the stability study of the drug formulation. You have put these chemicals together, so you want to study and find out how stable is the formulation. You want to study and find out what is the impact of different conditions that this drug formulation is going to be exposed to. For example, what is the impact of temperature on the formulation? What is the impact of light on the formulation? What is the impact of humidity? How do the different chemicals react? And how does this drug formulation interact with the primary packaging material? That is just in a nutshell. After this stability study, then there's the aspect of application of drug classification and registration. So drugs are classified based on their usage. Then next we have the clinical trials, whereby now the new drug is put in treatment and the safety and effectiveness of the drug is established. Then you seek the regulatory approval and patenting. The next step in pharmaceutical value chain is product manufacturing. Product manufacturing starts from the raw material to the packaging and storage of the final product. When it comes to raw materials, it entails sourcing of the correct raw materials, analysis of the raw materials to ascertain the quality, storage, dispensing, and disposal. Then we have packaging materials, which also entails sourcing, analysis, storage, dispensing, and disposal. Then we move to manufacturing, and this entails making of drug product on a large scale following predefined formulation and procedures. That means there's already formulation in place, and we have step-by-step description of how the manufacturing process should be done. And this is what is followed during the manufacturing of the product. Then we have packaging and storage. Then the next aspect is quality assurance. I want to mention that quality assurance is wide and it cuts across the pharmaceutical value chain. It covers all matters that individually or collectively influence the quality of the final product to ensure that the drug product is of the right quality required for intended use. This is where we have the quality management systems. This is where we have good manufacturing practices. This is where we have good laboratory practices. And then this is where we have compliance with regulatory and statutory requirements. During product manufacturing, I just want to mention that quality assurance involves supplier pre-qualification, documentation. In pharmaceutical industry, if it's not documented, it is not done. So all activities in the pharmaceutical industry that are documented either as procedures, work instruction, manuals, policies, or even master drug files. So if it's not documented, it's not done. Then quality assurance is also involved in monitoring the processes, personnel competence and building capacity, then testing of products. So I don't want to limit quality assurance on these aspects because it is wide and it cuts across the value chain. Then we have the quality control. Our quality control is where the testing of the raw materials, packaging materials, intermediate products, finished products, and stability products are tested. Quality control is under quality assurance. It was necessary to mention this because there's a lot of chemistry that goes on in the quality control laboratory. Let us talk about product distribution. I want to acknowledge that pharmaceutical industry is one of the most stringent and highly regulated industry. And pharmaceutical product distribution is done following available guidelines on good distribution practices. Among the issues considered are warehousing and storage, vehicles for distributing medicine and equipment, shipment containers and how they are labeled, dispatch and receipt, transportation and products in transit, documentation, handling returns, handling customer complaints, and recalls. With the understanding of characteristics and properties of various drug products, distribution of these products should be done to assure quality, safety, and efficacy of these drugs to the final consumer. Sales and marketing. Pharmaceutical industry is one of the highly regulated industry, and it's paramount that the laid down regulations are followed during sales and marketing of pharmaceutical products. Each market has its own rules and regulations. Sales and marketing involves creating awareness of the availability of the produced pharmaceutical products in the market. Now that you understand the pharmaceutical value chain, as a chemist, you can find yourself in research and development, production, quality assurance, quality control, product distribution, sales, and marketing. Chemistry in pharmaceutical world. Yes, integration of chemistry in pharmaceutical industry and the role of chemists in pharmaceutical value chain. Was it of any value to you? Subscribe, share, like, and leave a comment. And watch out for the next session.